Hi, this is Bard. I am the runner, blog writer of Prism Song, and I'm also Bard Wolf on Aspie's for Freedom. And it is the morning of uh, June 20th. It's a couple days after Autism Pride and Gay Pride, for that matter, here in Columbus. And I'm doing a vlog on an important topic to me, and that is self-advocacy. And it's actually a response to Melanie's last rant on redefining and defending self-advocacy. And she asks to her readers, what does self-advocacy mean to you? Because while she gives you a list of what self-advocacy isn't, she asks people, okay, well, I can write a big paragraph about what self-advocacy means to me, but I want to ask all my readers. And so this is my response to that. Because I'm the kind of individual who likes to take M20s to a likes to take like a massive rockets to like a 4th of July party. Hey, why not? I think it's important to really understand, in my perspective, that self-advocacy is more than just a self-advocating for as an autistic. I think self-advocacy can also be portrayed for other things. I see self-advocacy as useful as also being bipolar, advocating my rights to ethical medicine and ethical treatment as someone that suffers from bipolar. Um, Bipolar and autism are different in many ways, and I can give a big list on how manic depressive bipolar is much more destructive for me than being autistic. But that's something on a completely different topic about comorbids. I can even go on about, and I have actually, about being transgender and autistic, and the things I do to pass every day, the things I do to advocate rights for transgender people, and I can even go on a massive tangent about trans identity, autistic identity, and I actually have. It's called juxtaposition. But self-advocacy in an autistic point of view is very interesting because it's a very loaded question, and one that brings a lot of controversy for some reason. When a trans male advocates for trans rights, or a gay male advocates for gay rights, or when a deaf male advocates for deaf rights, people don't stand there and go, what the fuck are you doing? People nod and try to support those individuals. I mean, today, when you see a gay man, advocating rights for gay people, well, sure, there's a lot of pushback and a lot of angry homophobia, but generally, from what I've seen in my community, and this is Columbus, you get a lot of support. For an autistic, it's the quite opposite. You see more pushback than you do support. And it becomes very much a self-defeating thing. It's very sisyphistic. There you go. It's a very sisyphistic action to self-advocate. And people are asking me, what does sisyphistic mean? It's kind of like my word Ouroboros. I kind of made it up because I couldn't find a good word to describe it. But sisyphistic means a task that has no end, or a task that doesn't seem to be doing anything. Like Sisyphus, rolling up the boulder up the hill only to have it roll down. And it's a constant motion of pushing that boulder back up and having it roll back down on you. And I've had that feeling a lot. And Mel has seen me, shake my fist at the world a few times and get very indignified and very angry that this isn't working. Where is the payoff? Are we going to have to wait for the payoff for, what, 10 years for the payoff of self-advocacy? Are we going to actually see better education, redefined and reconstructed BVR for autistics? Are we going to see the ADA actually being useful for once? For me, it is sisyphistic. It is very self-defeating and very exhausting and very tedious to self-advocate. And you do sit down. As self-advocates, I'm not the only one. I don't think I'm the only one. That sits down and go, is it worth it? And self-advocacy to me is more than just standing up for one's rights and shaking the fist at the world and going, I don't need your bullshit. Self-advocacy, for me, is doing this specific task so the next generation won't pick up our mistakes. We're pioneers, and I think that's something that a lot of us are just realizing what that means. Pioneers, we thought that'd be some sort of blaze a trail, new, like, something exciting. Pioneers means we're going to be dying from dysentery and cholera and getting attacked by Apache Indians for invading their territory. That's what pioneer means. Pioneer is a lot of work, a lot of suffering, a lot of yelling, and a lot of nights screaming on the phone to one's boyfriend at 3 a.m. in the morning because one cannot sleep because of anxiety. That's self-advocacy. That's pioneering in self-advocacy for autistics. There is no good side right now. It's all work. It's all effort. It's all pain. It's all struggle, and it's very, very, very difficult. And a lot of people are still asking ourselves, is it worth it? I'm still asking this, and I say, yeah, it is, because the next generation, hopefully they'll stand up and see us as role models and figures to be respected and to be, the names to call out in the next 20 years when people go on about, pioneers in disability rights. People are going to shout out our names. Ari Neiman, Amanda Baggs, Doreen Raymaker, Melanie Yurgo, Corbin Kramer. They're going to shout out those names, and they're going to say, if it wasn't for them, I would have not gotten my job. If it wasn't for them, my son or daughter would not be in an inclusive education. If it wasn't for those people, the concept of restraint and inclusion would still have been a horrible and practiced treatment. And self-advocacy is, and to be summed up in one word, is exhausting, but necessary. It's not something that we can't do. We have to sit down and let neurotypicals do it because we've already had that thing. And to quote from my blog, didn't everybody die of smallpox? That's what it is. It's people giving us, people leading us to our slaughters if we let neurotypicals lead for us. We can't let them lead. We can't let them have that control. We have to lead. And it's very, very tiring and very exhausting. And while it looks like there's no end in sight, and it looks like you're going to give up, sometimes it's great courage. It is a sign of true advocacy when you stand up despite being called freaks and monsters and have parents scream at you as you're kneeling on the sidewalk crying. In October. Oh, I still have a traumatic reaction every time I remember the walk. I rock back and forth and flap my hands when people talk about the walk last October. It's not something I can really fix. When you go through all that stress, all that anger, all that rage, and you keep walking forward, you keep holding your head high, and you have that dignity, that's self-advocacy. Self-advocacy is more than just holding up a sign in the middle of a protest. Self-advocacy is standing there stoically with tears down your face as people call you a fucking retard. Or, are you stupid? Are you that stupid? Self-advocacy is taking the shit, taking the abuse, and standing up. Keep walking, despite how much it hurts. That's self-advocacy to me. Feel free to visit prisonsong at blogspot.com. I got more essays on disability rights, ethics, social ethics, and the reasons why I do not get laid enough.